Hello and welcome to another modelling video. This is Alan from the Man at YouTube with another model video. Unboxing, building and reviewing the 4D Models 1/6 scale RPG 7. Unsure of the variant or if it's the Chinese Type 69. Honestly, with reference and research among its history from the 1961 to present day and multiple manufacturers, could never tell. 4D Models is a Chinese manufacturer of cheap snap-fit plastic kits and toys for collecting and educational purposes. The box contains 2 coloured runners, coloured instructions, size of an ID card, 1 step, and an additional revolver as a blind free gift. We'll be building this with very basic tools and scale model methods, cutting off the runners, sanding any seams and nubs, permanently gluing everything down for colour separation, leaving the wood pieces separated for later. These kits break down such as their real-life weapon counterparts, extremely popular, and among a series of 3, 8 in each, there's almost 30 to choose from, including further rifles and pistols outside the lineup. They can be showcased standalone, but assume they're very popular with the Dragon branded and other 1/6 military ball jointed dolls that are very big in China across many brands and genres. Accessories used to be very hard and expensive to get. It's very straightforward and no challenge, about 10 parts, all slots together and looks amazing as is without painting. Love the wood grain. With over 50 years of service across more than half of the world and almost every conflict, its affordability, easy use and wide use makes it popular where it's even memed and joked upon. Everything from mounted on a Toyota pickup truck utilized in pop culture to science fiction, including the beloved Gundam anime universe, it is memed upon in other languages and countries, especially Russian internet. Appearing in video games and social media, they can be attached with all sorts of different and unconventional warheads like fire extinguishers and the shovel. First seen 2013 on TikTok, operated by a Ukrainian in the current conflict. It has a much older and deeper history in previous conflicts, which is hard to find on the English side of the internet. Dangerous but not really a lethal charge or a tent. Slogans and messages are written on it and fired in another trench for psychological warfare or fun. Acquiring this second-hand from a pile of kits I bought through my hobby shop, I had to keep it rather than resell it, especially since the buyer got it for nothing and offered it as such. I found an entrenching tool in scale on Thingiverse, printed it, filled it, sanded it and painted it. Even though it's rough, it's suitable, being lower quality post-Soviet gear. Back to the build from that long tangent, I've thinned down some automotive filler primer with automotive retardant lacquer thinner to the viscosity of water in a separate shot glass, pouring it in a 0.5 Eco Neo spray gun and dusted on the coat to look for imperfections on the metal parts only. The handles were masked off. Amazingly, everything was pretty good and I was able to move on to the next stage. Was impressed that all seams were in natural panels with no ejector pin marks or sinks. Completely forgot to mention, from looking at reference material, I added an additional shoulder strap with wire and leather lace from a previous project. Moving on to painting, after the primer has dried to the touch in 40 minutes, I started off with a metallic black graphite car paint. To start with a natural metal dark sheen and pigmentation across all of the metallic parts. The shovel received a couple of more coats of a burnt and corroded iron colours normally reserved for tank trucks. Then gunmetal shaded on all of the other weapon parts to show a slight amount of wear and shadowing. The warhead has received 3 coats of a dark and light Soviet green with a highlight of a very light cockpit green. Jokingly, a friend told me it's so clean it wouldn't even come out of the factory looking like that. With the strap being hand painted with a buff tan colour. Finishing off the painting stage. Going from a painted scale toy, we definitely want to add that grittiness and definition through weathering. First off, assembling all the parts after everything has had a full chance to dry and chemically harden, not leaving any fingerprints or faults behind. A little cement is brushed in each of the holes and clicked into place, combining painted and non-painted parts. Jumping onto a sludge wash with pre-thinned Tamiya accent colour with gum turpentine. With the texture and very deep natural panels and raised details, I was able to brush quite thickly the solution over everything, allowing excess to drip off and leaving as is. Almost like an overly greased oil slick or build-up of dirt. As it was settling and curing into a putty state, I moved on to pigment weathering and brushed on with a wide brush some European earth colour and extra rust spots and streaks on the shovel. Sealing it all in with a homebrew lacquer matte clear, mixed with various automotive compounds in a 1-part medium via airbrush. Dusted on thinly after all the weather mediums have dried. This concludes the build. The initial build was very fast and not too much of a challenge. However, I had fun for the entire stage, thinking of all the different weird and wonderful ways, and if I spent more time in creating further warheads or detailing or even adding it to a doll or a scene. There is way too many creative possibilities. The range is a lot of fun. I've got more than 10 of these kits on standby to build and review in future. Highly recommended. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, until next time, stay tuned for further content and we'll catch you guys later. Be sure to check out the description section down below for references and social media links where builds, work in progresses and events month or so before a video is created. Plus downloadable 3D model content coming soon. Feel free to like and leave a comment if you feel inclined to. I answer all questions.